Greetings, this is Ross Algar, and now for something completely different. I'm going to give you an overview of the game that just recently came out on the 17th on the 17th of May, or was it March? I'll have to double check on that. But this is a European game called Far Lone Sails. It is one of the most simple games you will ever play. Now, I do have to warn you in advance that this game does not involve any shooting, any killing, any of the typical violent struggle genre that you see me do. And yet, I very much enjoyed this game. So much so that I wanted to do a video about it so that at least people know that there's other things out there. Far Lone Sails sets in a post-apocalyptic world. We're not given the details as far as what has happened. We just know that we need to leave. From the very beginning, as this says, press any key, and so our story begins. Now the backdrop, this game is pretty much a scrolling game. The only keys you will ever use in this game are actually very simple. In fact, if I hit the escape button now, and let's go over the controls, just to show you how I'm not using a mouse. I'm just using the arrow keys on my keyboard, and here are the controls. You walk using A and D. Your jump is either the arrow up, the W key, or the space bar. You can take something and you hold on to it, and anything you take also means use, basically. V, E, or enter. You can zoom in with X. You can zoom out with C. That's it. Those are the only controls you will need in this game, but it's how you manage those controls. This is a game that is solely about the journey. And so here we are. We have a very black and white, desolate landscape. The only thing standing out is our particular character here, who I just made jump up and down with the arrow key. A little girl wearing a red hat and an oversized red coat. Now, we're not told right away what has happened. We can see a tree. Apparently it's partially bent over. It's somewhat in ruins. We see a little pinwheel and a picture of someone. We're not told who. We're not told what. Although the game comments seem to be that this is apparently her lover, or if you take it as an example that this is a young woman. I thought maybe it was her father, but it doesn't matter. We're not told anything. So, we're only given some choices. We can go this way, and I'm just using the arrow keys here, left and right arrow keys, or that way. And we come to the first thing that comes out in the bleak landscape, and it's this red mailbox, which falls. Now we hit V and we pick that up. And we decide, well, we're going to take this with us. So here, now I'm going to hit the space bar to jump up into the remnants of our house. It's almost looking like the remnants of Kansas here. We open the door, we come inside, and as soon as we come in, it changes and we can see what's going on inside here. So, we can't go this way. We can go up. Try to go up. But something is blocking us. In fact, we have to come down here and we have to jump up and hit this little red button. That opens the hatch. And it opens the door on the other side of the house. So now, we've given our first clue as far as what can happen. We can jump over here. Come this way. Okay, well, we can't get through that way, huh? Well, if that's not the way out, then what is? Now, you're probably going to wonder yourself, well, what's this mailbox got to do with anything? Well, there are a lot of things in this that you'll find on your way you think you may actually have to need, but in fact, you don't. down. Now, you see that there. We can take that with us too. I'm just going to come to the edge here, and I'm going to drop that. We're going to go back inside. I'm going to see if I can't get my way back over now. Okay, well, I can, however. Take this, I'm going to pick that up, and I'm going to drop that off over here. Since I can't come back that way, now I can do this. I could come down here into the cellar. Anything down here I need? Maybe? No. I thought there was a way that I could come back, and I originally thought that, well, I might have been wrong on that. Let's see here. Can we do this way? No. Okay, well, no, our choices are made for us. We've chosen our items. We're going to get our mailbox. And we're going to run back over here to, we don't really know what just yet. So a lot of things about this game is as much about trying to ascertain what exactly is going on. And here we have what apparently seems to be the outcome of a disaster. The oceans have receded. We don't know why. We don't know when. We just know that we're in this bleak landscape and we're trying to get somewhere with a mailbox at this point in time. And as we're coming our way over this way, we come through this fence, so carrying our beloved mailbox, and we come to this very odd looking contraption. This in fact is going to be our land ship, and this is where we've docked. We have apparently spent all our time and effort and ingenuity making this interesting contraption, which will be our home. And as you can see here, we have several different levels. Now, I want you to pay attention to a number of things here. Note this little dial here, speed, and the equal sign right here. As you come over here, you see we've got these bars. We've got equal, and we got a slash. We've got a red button here. We've got a thing here. In fact, if I hit the X button, I can zoom in. We've got a little wire rack there. And if you notice, you see these hooks? We can actually store things on those. Well, how do you get between levels is we got a little elevator shaft here that takes us up. And we come in here into our living space. This is where we live and sleep, and we got a little chair, we've got a bed, and we've got these hooks. Now, what I can do is I can hit the space bar, hit V, and I can store my mailbox. Okay, now I do have a couple of things here. What you're zooming here, if I zoom in, it's very difficult to see, but this is actually fuel. And it says that goes up. We've got a slash bar here for a button. We've got an overhead storage of what appears to be another box. That, in fact, is in fuel. And then we have a number of gauges over here. We've got this big red button. We've got a big red button above that lets off steam. We've got something here. That's actually a brake. We've got something for energy and fuel. We'll come down here, hit that button, come up at the top. We don't have anything up here yet, but we've got a command deck. Now, as this goes on, we'll eventually add things to our tractor, combine, land ship. But it's all a matter of how we use this space in here and the buttons in use throughout this game that are going to make the difference. But first, we're going to go back. Now, look how bleak this landscape. Well, no, it's not going to let me go back. Oh, there we go. And again, I'm just using the arrow buttons. I'm going to zoom back in here. And we're getting pretty wet here at the time. I'm going to zoom back out. But look at this landscape. This is essentially the game. And if... well, I'm going to recognize that this isn't something that's going to be for everybody. Oh, you know what? It's not letting me go back. Oh well. It has made it save. Okay, well, that's good to know. I thought I could initially go back, but I guess we've made our decision. We've brought our mailbox with us. Which, by the way, as a spoiler alert, keeping that mailbox towards the end of the game does get you an achievement on Steam. Okay, so this is our contraption. This is how we're going to be running away. Well, how does this thing work? Well, basically, you got to have fuel. You see where it says energy here? Basically, that's our fuel. So this is where we get our fuel, up here. So we've got a couple here. If I pick them up, we drop them here, and then we come right over here. We hit the spacebar, hit up. Now, we'll occasionally have to let go of steam. If you notice where it says steam, you see that red indication is going here. Our fuel is going down. Steam is building up. It's not critical. We got to hit the button to use some energy. It gives us a little boost button. Oh, look at that. We need to keep going. All right, here we go. Lock it in place. Yeah, this is it. This is all about how we manage our ability to move. Now, if I ever have to come to a stop, I got that little thing right here. We'll demonstrate the brake here a little bit. I love the way how this thing backfires. And again, we're not told why exactly we're leaving. What we're looking for. If we're going anywhere. Okay, we're out of fuel. We're going to go come up here. We're going to hit our brake. Hit that button. That little brake comes down below, and now we'll go rolling backwards. Alright, well, let's see here. Hit up V to pick up a tab, set that there. Hit V, drop it in place, hit the spacebar, put some fuel in there, come back. Alright, here we go. Right button, lock her in place. Stop! Why'd you stop, Ross? Well, I'm glad you asked. We've got more fuel here, so we can come down here to the ship, pick these up. You know, this game is all about how you manage your vessel and the space inside it. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to put a couple of fuel blocks here. Like so. Alright. Refuel the fuel tank. But we're not ready to take off just yet. We're going to pick up this extra fuel we got here. And we're going to use those hooks right above here. Put those in place here. Hop and V, put that there. We're going to save those for our journey later because we're going to need them. Alright, now we can get underway. So, we don't need to undo the brake. We can go ahead and hit the big red button here. The brake unlocks automatically. And we're on our way. Alright, lock it all the way in place. Let the steam build up and we're rolling again. Now, this is especially helpful like when you do that, you use the steam to get up over hills and things. Consequently, if we let the steam build up, it will damage our vessel. And then we'll have to put out fires and what have you. And we'll get to that maybe perhaps later, but for now, already got more fuel blocks. Oh, wait a minute. We're having some trouble getting up. Well, that's not a problem. We can come in on the other side here. Every time we come this way, we can come inside. A little tricky here since we're at a weird angle. Yep, this is all about, yeah, you see that? We just picked up the door up, come back inside here. Oh. Redo the fuel tank, and then we'll have two of these here. We'll put these in our standby once we get underway. Ah. Now, I haven't been very good as far as timing this. If you get it just right, you don't have to take nearly as much time getting all your fuel blocks. And pretty much you can, this is an incinerator. You can put anything in here, even that mailbox that we had. But we want to save that for now. Alright, so back to getting moving in. Here we go. And we're underway. Now again, we have absolutely no idea where we're going or why. We just know we have to get someplace. Okay, love the way that thing backfires. Get up there, get up there, get up there. Alright, we're starting to approach our first real obstacle here. Yep, come undone, lock it back in there. Oh, look at that, we got more fuel. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Let's go ahead and let this come out. Okay, as you can see here, we're going to go ahead and while we're at it, we're going to always have what you can held in reserve. Now, you'll notice that there's a larger container that's just a bigger fuel block. Although there are some fuel blocks, not all fuel is equal in this game. And that, bear in mind, some fuel types work better than others. There are some fuel types that are very problematic, and they will cause damage to your vessel. And so, pretty much if you use these boxes and you use those oil containers like the one you just saw me put in earlier, then generally you're okay. But there are others that will cause problems. Alright, so we got our spare container. I'm just going to put it on the hook above there. Alright, there we go. And let's get back underway here. Now you saw how I initially just rolled backwards. If I were to unloose the brake without any propellant, we would actually roll back down. So I'm going to hit this here. I was just thinking we're going uphill. Let the steam build up a little bit. Maybe get a little more here. Boost up the hill, there we go. We're alright. Okay, we'll let this momentum. Hey, we're moving now. Uh-oh. I'm just going to push this a little bit. Oh, you hear that wind? let's zoom in here. There it is. And we've got another. So pretty much you don't have to put these on the hooks. You can put this stuff anywhere. I want to put this stuff where it's easily accessible for the time being. Let's go ahead and refill our tanks here. In fact, I want to go ahead and get that one off of there. Actually, this is probably a good time to see. Here's the top. You can go back down into the hatch there. Let's go ahead and grab that big barrel and put that in reserve for the time being. There we go. We'll just put that there. Alright, I think we're ready to go. And we'll come up to the point where we come to our first real obstacle and what we have to do here. Zoom out, see what's ahead. And I'm watching the steam build up. Okay, alright, we got something coming up here. Oh, lost power. Alright, we're coming to our first real obstacle. Alright, here we go. We're stuck. Well, what now? Let's zoom out here and see what's going on. What is that up there? Wait, almost look like sails. Well, congratulations, we are at our first upgrade. But the first things first, we're getting low on the fuel here. Let's go ahead, you can't really see it, but we had our barrel here in reserve. Let's go ahead and hit the button, pull that in, we'll get a fuel tank out of there. There we go. Come all the way up. And let's see, come here, hop up to the top here. Let's zoom in and see what's going on. Oh, what's this? It almost looks like a beach ball. But we can come up here. Just put that down. So what we're actually doing, if you look at the picture inside here, this kind of gives you a clue of what we're actually doing. Okay, so what happens now is that the weight distribution of our land ship is different. And we've now got a beach ball that we can use for fuel if we want to. Or we can just go put it on one of the hooks. There we go. But whenever you hear this wind, that's a good indication that you can use the wind power and you can save fuel. What you do is you come up top, you hit, again, right click till this locks in place. You see the sails are up. And there we go. We're on our way. So we have gotten through our first obstacle and we have upgraded it. So using our sails, we can now travel at a fairly decent amount of speed, and we can conserve our fuel. So with all of that you see going on, these strange contraptions, it makes you wonder what exactly happened and why we're all alone. Just the seagulls and the retreating sea. Now, this is where the game, if it has anything, notice we ran over a pole there. That's a marker where it zooms out and you just kind of take in this landscape. It's almost like the Dust Bowl from the 1940s. If you read Steinbeck's novels and the barrenness and the bleakness of the landscape. boss in the background. People apparently have been trying to go this way. Another ship there. There's a small vessel. And we're at a point where we can't really zoom out anymore, but you just kind of take in the entire scope of things here at this point. And there are several key places in this particular game where you're going through your node routine, trying to keep going forward. When it zooms out and you get a bigger picture, it's breathtaking. You get the sense of what is actually going on. So there are a few surprises in this. I think we're coming up to our next real major obstacle here. At which point I think we might try to call it for the time being. So, okay, we're coming up. And are we going to come to a stop here? Just rolling over everything. Here we go. Okay, so if you look at the equal sign here, you can see sparks flying there. You will take damage if you hit things too hard. And all kinds of things. I've already mentioned certain fuel containers, which we have certain things at our disposal to assist us in repairing. Although right now, all we have here is we have a fire hydrant, which isn't going to really help us right now. But we're not so badly damaged that we can't really do anything about it. And we've got to find a way past this particular propeller. So on that note, we're going to call it a night. And our exciting adventure will continue in the next episode. Again, this is Ross Algar, and this is Far Lone Sails playthrough. Hope you've enjoyed this, and we will follow up on the next video. Have a great night.